The following presentation is rated G or R. Once there was a very special being named Bumo. He was special for two main reasons. First, he had a goat head sticking out of his eye. Second, he was easy to wave to. He lived in a house made out of fire and coconut skins, but the house always seemed to have problems. The coconut skins would constantly damage the fire, so he had to replace the fire once every year. He hoped he could find a better place to live, maybe somewhere in a city where every wall came with its own swimming pool. So one night he finally left his home to search for such a place. He walked across his yard for 2 full days, under the star and countless full moons, until he reached a part of his yard he had never seen before, a giant ocean of tartar sauce, large enough to cover 2/3 of a planet, or 1/3 of a fellow with a very large head. Bumo stood thinking about how to cross the rolling waves of the sea when he noticed an alligator standing on the sea's edge, gazing straight up into the sky. "Good man," Bumo said. "What interests you so much in the sky at this hour?" "Heck, you messed me up," the alligator mumbled. "How can I balance my mouth on my face when I have to answer questions from a stranger?" "Why would you need to balance your mouth on your face?" Bumo asked. "Mouths are never at risk of falling off the face." Of course, someone with a small mouth would think so. And when he doesn't use it every day, like myself, he has no idea of its value. And with that, the alligator used its mouth to fly away, flapping its jaw in beautiful curved arcs with feathers on each end to aid in the flight. And there appeared before Bumo a fish in the midst of the tartar sauce ocean, calling out from far away. Many bumpy wings could be seen coming out of its mouth and eye hole, even at a distance, so the fish looked as if it gained its appearance by gargling a synthetic turkey angel soaked in a glass full of glue. Bumo never saw a flying fish, but everyone knows they all look like this one. The fish called out, "Do you want to fly as well? I'm the favorite flying fish. Do you want to fly as well?" "Not really," Bumo said, answering only one of its questions. "Usually I have to move forward to go places, and if I go to places by flying, I have to go up and down and forward. Seems like extra work to me." "Fine," the fish said. "We'll swim then." And the fish dragged Bumo into the tartar sauce. Every now and then the fish jumped out of the sauce to fly for a while before diving back in to swim, for tax purposes, of course. It seemed better at using its wings for swimming and its tail for flying. At one point it flew very high, almost straight into a living waterfall. This waterfall was of the cow species and had a classic cow shape. "Mustard is the invention of man," the cow-shaped waterfall said. "It is made from great beans and baked jam." "That's how my friend says hello," the fish explained to Bumo. "I want to eat with you today," the waterfall told the fish. "Give me all the food you have. I'm hungry for an unpeeled fortune cookie." "No unpeeled fortune cookies here, but I brought along a friend this time." "Is it the ascender asunder whose feet grew into a whole person? You'd think with such big feet his balance would be better." "No, it's not him. This time it's a bean. He has a goat head sticking out of his eye." "So what brings you into a meeting with us waterfalls and fish?" "Well, I was looking for a new place to live when I ran into the tartar sauce ocean we're flying above." "It's usually better to live below a place than above it," the waterfall advised. If people lived below ground instead of above it, they wouldn't have to dig for gold and oil and other things. Then the waterfall picked up the entire tartar sauce ocean with one movement and fixed it so it covered the sky instead of the land. "Now that we're below the ocean, we can start house searching," said the waterfall. "So what kind of house do you want? Gold or oil? How about milk? There's some milk coming right towards us." It was Harold the Grass Lady coming towards them, the lady made entirely out of chocolate milk. She was called Harold the Grass Lady because the chocolate milk she was made of was covered by short blades of grass. Scientists thought she looked like a giant amoeba and built a giant microscope to inspect her with. This microscope is in a place called Cancun. When people go to Cancun, they mainly go to see this microscope. Harold the Grass Lady was a two-time psychic, meaning she had been psychic 2 times in her life. Her prized possessions were 2 tooth blankets, each a mile long. One was made of thousands of teeth stitched together, and the other was carved out of one large tooth. When Harold heard of what Boomo was looking for, she invited him in her house. The house was made from 2 giant headless suits with a scared little creature curled up between the neck collars. Harold had a special name for the house. She called it the Understanding of Wonder. Harold pointed to an upside-down car in the first room and said to Boomo, "Here's where I park, but I never like to leave my car upright. It might get stolen that way. And here is my favorite painting. It's called Not Forgetting Fun Stuff. That's the translated English title anyway. The original title is in a language I don't know, but I think it's pronounced, and I hope I'm getting this right, Fearsome Benevolence. Yeah, I think that's right. It's about a guy who sits around during the day trying to decide whether he's good or evil, because at night he does more good than the world has ever seen, and more evil than the world has ever seen as well. It was painted in ancient Rome more than 2 days ago." "Where's the guy in the painting?" Boomo asked. "I only see a half chameleon, half pig using a TV set as an eraser." "I guess the painter forgot to put the guy in there," Harold said. "Now let me show you to the bathrooms." After moving past a set of pumpkin gut curtains, in which the living cow waterfall became stuck, Harold and Boomo were again outside of the house and staring at a large skyscraper building that wasn't there a few minutes earlier. "These are the bathrooms," Harold said. "Why so many?" was all Boomo could ask. "So a lot of people can use them. Rather than have a bathroom or 2 in every house in the sea, it seemed a better idea to just put all the toilets in one place. That way, when people ask where the bathroom is, there's no confusion as to which bathroom they're talking about." "But isn't it rather inconvenient to only have one place for bathrooms? I wouldn't want to travel 20 miles just to use a toilet." "Ah, but that's the wonderful thing about this bathroom skyscraper. You see, it's carried by the contribution to obscurity. Whenever you have to go, the contribution to obscurity will be there, whether you know it or not." Boomo looked all the way to the top of the skyscraper to see this contribution to obscurity. The contribution was a giant man that looked like a hippo. It looked like a hippo because the word hippo was clearly written on it. The contribution also had huge bowling balls attached to its shoulders that were used for wings, and a smaller head than its own protruded from its upper lip. Boomo had never seen a stranger mustache. Well, after eating some phone book-shaped ice cream that tasted like the internet, Boomo decided to stay at Harold the Grass Lady's house as her new son for the next 4,000 years. Or the next 4,000 minutes. I forget which. The end.